just so I understand this, you guys literally reinvented the wheel.
Exactly. I didn't think about that part, but you're right.
Mike and Dan are the co-founders of Ozza, a custom steering wheel company trusted by some of the biggest influencers in the world. They've collaborated with the Goon Squad, Do It With Dan, and Devin Niamela.
We basically struck gold before we knew it. Turns out there's a big market.
How big?
Well, 300 million.
Our brand, since day one, was always about best materials, the best quality.
Mike walked away from a motorcycle accident and eventually walked away from his career in nursing to chase a bigger vision.
There was a lot of trust involved to God. I'm so happy that I took that step. I don't look back.
Dan, a former correctional officer, gave up his career and pension to build Ozza Wheels with Mike.
Most of the people don't even know what it takes.
With their manufacturing rooted in Ukraine, they've weathered a pandemic, war, political instability, and tariffs, and they still continue to grow.
You just wake up to the news that Russia bombed Ukraine.
There's rockets flying, their employees are fleeing, like, how did we not close down?
People divided into two groups, people that wanted to support our business because we're in Ukraine, and then people who were on the other side of the fence. We got a couple of nasty messages, actually.
Is there a lot of bribing?
It's a very dramatic situation.
Was there a feeling when you guys traveled and visited that some van was going to come and just pull you guys and throw you into the meat grinder that is the war?
Since about 2 years now, I can't.
My name is Mike, and I used to be a regular guy that went to school, and my parents told me you need to get a career, so I went into nursing, graduated, start working, start making money, and I was just following a regular path of life, where you go to the work, come back, make your money, and trying to make more every year. And that all changed when I started to be a part of the owner of business. And I'll go into more details a little bit later. Dan here is my partner and my longtime friend. We've been friends with him ever since he came to United States. Over 15 years.
Yep,
Almost
17.
20.
Wow.
20.
Yeah, 2007. We're done.
Yeah.
I moved here from Ukraine in 2007 with my family. Immigrated like a lot of people in our area.
From which city?
Kiev. So we moved here in 2007. I was 15 and a half. Went to high school. And one of the things that I got interested in was criminal justice, police, and law enforcement. So I kind of started looking into that. It was time to figure out your career. So years go by, and I get married, and I decided to again pursue the career in law enforcement, and I got a job with State Department of Corrections. So I pretty much, to shorten this up, I spent 6 years working inside the correctional facility, inside two correctional facility, different ones.
Were you a correctional officer?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you have to have a degree in criminal justice or anything like that?
Not really, no.
Really?
No.
Wow, that's crazy.
So,
Yeah, it's like
in a
stepping
jail? Or
So I actually work in the actual prison. So after
Okay.
you get sentenced, after you get your, you talk to a judge, they give you a sentence. That's where you go to.
so you have a passion to help people that are struggling?
You can call it like that, yeah.
Or you just wanted to have power over people?
Nah, power.
You just
It's like, hey, get in your cell, man.
I never really wanted to work in prison, but it was like a stepping stone. Like if you talk to any police officer, and I did talk to a lot of police officers back then because I was doing a bunch of internships and with like Vancouver police. They were all telling me just go do something that will help you and where you can get more skills for this job.
like a security guard.
Pretty much. So I did security. I worked for security companies.
Were there ever really crazy moments that you saw, like there was a huge riot or people trying to break out or something?
Thankfully, no. I know it sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
But
It's probably not like it is in the movies, huh?
So I worked in Oregon for Oregon Department of Corrections, and they do their correctional system really different than what you see in the movies. Like, because what you see in the movies usually is like California. They're really strict. Head down, walking prisoners, and
Yeah.
in Oregon, I was pretty much, if you're a correctional officer in Oregon, you were like a lot of things that you do is like childcare. You know, when you're. So I was, let's say I was working an 8-hour shift, and about 7 hours out of those 8, I was in the middle. I was in the room with like 80 plus inmates.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So they come up to me, they ask questions. I make sure there's no fights. If there's a fight, I break it up. Break it up. You know, looking for contraband. So a lot of things you that probably helped me to be better at public speaking, because you know you're right there, you're with them.
Wow.
So there's a lot, but anyways, I haven't really witnessed crazy stuff like that. I've been next to a lot of people that have done really bad things.
Wow.
And you know, when you can look them up on Google, or you can look them up and because it's public information, look them up, what they've done and how they've done it. You know, at first you're interested in that stuff, but then after you read some, you're like, you know, because you got to treat them fair.
You have to treat them equally.
Yeah, equally. So
Can't have that bias.
when you know what they've done, it really becomes hard to do that. So I
Yeah.
kind of stopped reading at some point. Like, it's just.
And it's an interesting way to start off a career. You hear it all the time that like people who are in the criminal justice system, a lot of them are very street smart. Did you feel like you picked up anything like that from the different people you were trying to help out? Like, was there anything you learned in prison with these inmates that then helped you out in the business world?
It's a good question.
No, have you met anyone interesting that really impacted your life in the prison? Because people think that, okay, everyone who ends up in the prison is trash. It's the lowest of the lowest, but it's not always true.
Yeah, no.
There's sometimes really smart people end up. It's
Absolutely.
just unfortunate situations. It's
Absolutely.
weird circumstances. Or I've heard stories when someone actually killed somebody, but he was defending himself. And it was just it's bad situation. It was a fight. He hit him. The guy fell.
I
And the
might
guy,
have met that guy.
you might have, yeah. There's situations like that where he regrets it, but you know the deed has been done. You know, there's a death.
It's a good question. It's a tricky one, because so in order to survive 8 hours behind the bars every day, year after year, is you kind of have to be in a certain mode. The mode is more of because you can't become friends with them, and that's one of the difficult things to getting to know people over there and just meeting them. If you know, I've only done it for under 6 years, so
It's a lot.
yeah.
Still 5 years in
Yeah.
prison.
Yeah, it is. But there's just certain things you don't talk about, and also, out of those almost 6 years, I spent 3 years in female prison.
Oh wow.
Wow. That's crazy.
So there's certain things that just off the limits, off the table. You don't even touch them. You don't even go there, and you have to be in that mode every time you clock in. Like this is stuff that's, you know, off, like it's off the limits
Just alerted, vigilant, because
all the time. So that's
because
what
they
people
can
do.
ask you for certain things
Oh,
or
absolutely. People get in trouble all the time. People get arrested all the time. Like I worked with a guy. I worked actually with multiple guys that after I quit, they got arrested, and then yeah, it happens all the time.
Wow, that's crazy.
So you really have to be vigilant. Like it's maybe that's one of the things that you learn as well in a prison, because you got to know your audience. You got to understand. You got to know a lot of psychology. Like I had to study psychology a little bit because of that job. It really helped me. So I guess it does help with the business, because like right now I do a lot of social media, and there's a lot of psychology that goes into social media.
Wow, that's so
If
interesting.
that answers your question.
Nah, it does. And so after 6 years working in the prison system, what was the next step for you? What was the next step?
So
in your career?
I spent 3 years in a female facility, and about 2.5 years in, and that's kind of how the company where the company took a crazy turn is, so I was driving around the prison, in a car with gun, and night shift, boring. I was looking for like a steering wheel for my car, or for like upgrades. I'm a car guy. I like
You were
cars.
looking for a steering wheel like around the prison or like on your
No,
phone?
no, like on my phone. On
Oh,
eBay,
okay.
On
Okay.
eBay.
Okay.
So I was bored. It's a really boring job. Really
Mm-hmm.
boring job. So if anybody considers working in prison, it's good when it's boring. That's what they all say. If if there's action, it's not good.
Mm.
So I was looking for something for upgrades for my car, and I stumbled upon this seller on eBay, and I started talking to him, and I see that he was located in Ukraine. So I started talking to him, and then fast forward, turns out he knows, we know same people, so he knows about the church that I go to. He ended up knowing my cousin, actually. So there's already some certain connection there, and we just started talking, and about and then I transferred to another prison, and that's where kind of things got hot, where year after year it was like, okay, I was seeing a clear, big picture that I had to choose between my state job with benefits, with insurance, with pension, and my
Your
business
entrepreneurial vision.
adventure that.
Well, were you investing? Why you had that choice? Because
Because
I think
of
you
time.
just fast forwarded it.
He fast forwarded.
Yeah.
Like before that happened, the company had to scale enough to where we could actually quit our jobs.
Okay,
I
well,
think-
can you go back a little bit? How
let's-
that company started?
Yeah.
You found this guy. He was selling custom wheels,
Steering wheels, yep.
steering wheels.
He was selling custom steering wheels. We started talking, and after about a couple weeks
What
of
year?
talking,
What year was this?
this was
2018, 2017.
so he told me that he's a Christian guy. He told me that he was praying to actually have somebody in states as a representative of his company, because he understood the difficulty of running a company, in this case Ukraine, and having a customer in U.S.
Right.
So there's a lot of shipping, there's a lot of returns.
No
So
customer
it's very-
service,
very
different time
inconvenient.
zones.
He actually learned English. He never spoke English. He learned English by talking to customers on eBay. So we started talking, and about, I don't know, a couple months in, I get the first package with product, because he was like, I'll send you the product. Try to sell it.
So this wasn't just something you ordered for yourself. This is something that he sent you, understanding that, hey, perhaps there's a potential for a partnership here.
Pretty much.
And this guy you're talking to, what's his name?
His name's Andre.
Andre, okay. Got it.
Yep. So that's how it started. I used to do some selling, so I have some experience in sales. I used to like flip cars and sell that, build, buy a car, take the parts that I needed for my project, sell the rest of the parts. Not crazy, nothing fancy. So that's how we started. A lot of Facebook groups, and we actually still utilize it up to this date. If somebody's watching that is looking for ways to start selling, Facebook groups. There's Facebook group for everything and anything out there right now.
And they're
So,
still popular.
very popular. A lot of people. It's like nowadays, like
It's like a little community
Oh yeah, absolutely.
that's all oriented around one
yeah.
specific thing.
We started trying to sell. He was a little bit already, like people knew about him a little bit already, on forums. So when I started selling the product, there was a time where we kind of had to, people had to get used to, customers or potential customers had to get used to that I'm the face of the company, not that guy anymore. So if they want to buy a steering wheel, it all goes through me, through our eBay account and all that stuff. So,
So you created your own eBay account.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we created the store.
Why would
I
you
had
do
a
that?
store.
Because he already had an account with a lot of reviews.
I had a store. I had an old store that's been on eBay for a lot of years already with good reviews, and it was located in the U.S.
Oh, so it has more
So a lot of times,
ranking.
and still there's customers out there right now that won't buy stuff that ships from
True.
overseas.
True.
They just like, I don't want to deal with, especially like we're probably gonna get to that, but especially right now with all the new tariffs,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a big challenge for overseas companies to sell stuff to US because people are like, what's tariff? Because Americans don't know what tariffs are. You know, people in Europe or in different countries, they're used to it. You know, it's been for ages or whatever.
Yeah.
But now a lot of Americans, they're gonna be like,
Well, I actually bought, product. They actually make it easy. So the carriers like UPS, FedEx,
yeah,
if you ship to them, they make it fairly easy. You just receive a link to the website.
Yeah.
You go to their website. There's a value that the shipper, the sender, put in,
yeah.
and you just pay percentage of that value directly to UPS, and
Yep.
UPS will take care of it. So they made it very easy. But before it wasn't as easy. You had to deal with a third party. So it's just interesting.
So with that said, Dan, how did you end up meeting Mike? How did you guys start working together?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a next big step for us as a company. So I worked with Andre for, I don't know, 2-3 years. I remember, we had I still lived in apartments, and we actually had to rent a little garage. Our first garage in our apartments was where because I was like, I don't have space, because he was
Sending you the
He kept
inventory.
sending.
kept sending me the product, and I was like it
Where
was
do I store
it was
it?
in my shelves in my house, it was in my room, everywhere. So I was like, let's split up the cost, $50 each. Let's rent the little garage. So where I'm going with this is we were short on money. We're short on funds. I didn't have, like I said, I had a brand new family. I had 2 babies.
If we go back to the product, so our viewers understand a little bit better, you have this guy in Ukraine that manufactures this product. First of all, tell us about the product and what type of value and why it's not manufactured anywhere else. Why is it Ukraine? And is there a profit margin? Is there what's going on here with manufacturing
So,
in Ukraine?
I guess I could say why I got into this company. First, I invested a little bit of money with Dan. They needed like 10 grand for a
Inventory.
year to run a little operation, and I did it out of friendship. I'm like, I don't know what this is about, but 10 grand is not gonna hurt the friendship. Once the year passed, Dan was ready to repay the money, and then I asked him, so what are you guys are running here? What kind of profits are we talking about? And
Started digging.
he showed me the steering wheel. I was like, look, this is a premium built steering wheel. We're using Italian Napa leather. You're not gonna get this quality in the States for this money. That's why it has to be made in Ukraine. And I had a little spark. I remember that day. I'm like, interesting. Well, if the profit margins are there, what am I doing investing in the real estate? Because the returns are not as great. So I told Dan, I was like, Dan, why don't I join the company, and we'll start to come up with bigger funds so we can expand this operation and scale it up a little bit. So I believed in the product. I looked up online, and I saw what they were selling for, and I saw a big potential. Because before, like many other people, I would say, who needs a custom steering wheel? Like, are you guys out of your mind? Who's buying these things? Turns out there's a big market.
How big?
Well, 300 million.
300 million.
Like
To
sales
some people,
annually
it's
in the
big.
No,
US?
if you're a leader in a $300 million market, potentially taking 55-60%, it's not bad. It's not bad. So you said you were investing in real estate before, and you didn't see returns. Can you
I
explain?
saw returns. I saw 15% returns, and you had to put down a lot of money. So I was investing with one guy and then took out, reinvested with the other guy.
Also, just an investor that is not
Right.
building. You
Not
just
building, not a
you
builder.
gave him money, like
Yes.
almost like hard money.
Almost, yes.
Got
So,
it.
but we were talking about a lot of money and risk. With steering wheels, you had to put down, 10 times less money to get, 3 times the profit or more. I'm like, this is a way better option.
So, what year was this when you
This
joined?
was 2019.
So 2 years later, after you started,
Yes.
he joined as a partner investor. And what did you promise to bring to the table? Just funds?
Well, initially, all I knew was I had some money, and that money was needed for the development. And I came in as owner investor. And as the years went on, I went deeper and deeper into understanding what kind of operation we're running. And it took me a few years to start offering other valuable feedback onto where to take the company. For example, the vision that I had is in order to grow the company, we need to have more profit. We have to raise the price to an appropriate amount. And that allowed us to scale up and to have the higher revenue. Like I said before to you, we were doubling each year as the year went on. 2019, we doubled that year. 2020, we doubled up. Until 2024, I think we were still doubling each year.
Wow.
So the strategy was working. During that time, we were able to get out of our lease because the facility was too small for a company. We were able to build a bigger building
In Ukraine.
in Ukraine,
Okay.
fully owned by 3 of us.
What is it like having a partnership between 3 people, 2 people stateside and 1 person international in a country that's now at war?
It's very difficult. The whole idea may not, people may question, does that work? I can only say the reason why we're still partners, Dan, me, and Andre, is we have one thing in common. We're all Christians. There's a strong bond. We all trust each other. We trust the Lord. And in a lot of ways, God sustained our company to where we at. I have little explanation to what we did to still be afloat.
A little explanation.
I don't understand it. There's rockets flying, the employees are fleeing. How did we not
Close
down?
the business.
Because we closed down for about 2 weeks.
Let's back up. Actually, I jumped the gun there. If you got involved in 2019, I feel like the first big challenge since you came on board with the company was probably COVID in 2020.
Yeah, it sounds like you came in as you just bought an equity in the company. You're not really a partner, you're a passive investor.
Well, I started passive, but I integrated pretty quickly because our vision was to grow the brand. In order to grow the brand, we had to grow our social media platform and to
social accounts,
target more people. And then as we target more people, we have more customers to take care of. So I immediately started doing customer care along with Dan and learning the process as we went. When I was working full time with the hospital, all I could do was in my spare time answer requests on Instagram and Facebook and pick up orders. We got our website pretty late in the game, so a lot of orders were collected manually, if you can imagine.
Wow.
So it took us 2 to 3 years to kind of build a website. I don't know why it took us so long, but we did a lot.
You just didn't see a need because...
We saw a need, we made a request, but under some kind of challenges, they were just challenged to build a website for us.
There's something really interesting in that, actually, because I know so many entrepreneurs who have an idea and they focus on a website and a brand and their logo, and they spend so much time and money on things that don't make money. But you guys managed to have a business that, is working, it's making money, and you didn't even have a website, which is interesting.
And it's nothing, I don't see anything wrong with it because I actually know some of my partners that are perfectionists. And what they do, they're going to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars into a business without even selling a single product. And I've been in that business. I've experienced it where we bought equipment. We rented a huge warehouse, probably 20,000 square feet.
Wow.
You know, for a business that doesn't produce any revenue. So there are people. It's just different ways to approach a business idea and test it. I'm more of a let's test it, let's make sure it works, and then we start investing. And we also want to make sure that there's a market and it's a scalable business. So it's interesting. I don't see anything wrong with it. You know, the guys, from different careers, correction facility, nurse, and they come in with an idea. It's like, hey, let's make it work. So I really appreciate it. You know, it's nothing wrong with it.
Thank you.
It's better than those guys that went to school, got a degree, business degree, and
They make their little business plan with
they
50
make a
pages
business plan.
explaining
They
about
run
what-
around and asking for money. I'm like, guys, you've never done anything. Like, who's gonna invest into your idea? Idea, as our kitty likes to say, it's a negative $1 million. It's that's what idea is. It's not good. Like you gotta. So this is good, and you're saying maybe we should have had the website sooner. That's a different question.
It's been much easier. We spent countless hours on the phone, talking to the customer.
Customers loved it.
They loved it.
Oh,
Because they had our
yeah.
attention. I understood that if we're not going to be responding to those DMs, to those emails, we're not going to get sales. So it kind of forced us to actually step our game up and be like really good at responding. Like I spent so many hours. Well, first of all, I was working a lot of night shifts. So like let's say at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'd get home and I'd spent like working through the night. I'd spent like hour, 2 hour in the morning responding to messages to people because I understood that, hey, we need sales. And I loved it. I saw a potential in the business. And like he said, if we had a website, send them a link, make your own purchase. But
Yeah,
it was like I
you
had
guys
to talk
build
to
the
the person.
community.
Yeah, and
And it's
customers.
very
We had
personalized.
we had amazing customers that they're staying with us up until this day. I remember customers that we have so many customers that are returning customers. They don't care about price. They care about that we take care of them. That we deliver the product, and our product is top notch, highest quality. We have people that come back every year for new product, and they love it.
So tell us about what that acquisition channel actually looked like. So it sounds like it's social media. Was it Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok? What were the channels? And how would you actually grow the business through social media? Was it through posts and just telling people to DM you? What did that look like?
It's really interesting. So the social media game is changing all the time, all the time. So first things first, you gotta understand. Like for us, it was Instagram. Biggest thing is Instagram. I remember making an Instagram page. It was actually my personal Instagram page that became a business page. I was just showing Mike yesterday that the very first picture of our Instagram page is like my son is standing next to my car because it was my personal page, and I never deleted the picture. I was like, let's just keep it there for the heck
That's
of it.
cool. You didn't archive it.
Yeah. So so we started Instagram. I didn't know what Instagram was. I didn't take no classes. I just started the Instagram probably in 2018, and I just started posting pictures of our product. We had a little white box. We put the steering wheel in there, take pictures, and just post it. So that's how we started. That's how we started Instagram, and then we start getting traction. We start getting a lot of followers, a lot of mentions, a lot of
Share.
What is a lot? What does that mean?
Probably more than 20.
So a good post would have like over 1,000 likes,
Wow.
right? So in like 2018, when Instagram was kind of just getting traction, we'd have that, and we'd have a lot of people commenting. So we were like pioneers in this because customizing steering wheel is not something that people are used to. Like even like the car guys, the world they don't see custom steering wheels up until, I don't know, 2015. So a lot of people, it was old product, but it was a new product. It was like a product that was, I don't know, it was something new. So a lot of people just loved it. They clicked, they liked it, they messaged us. They're like, "What's the price?" And I was talking to Mike yesterday again that for about 4 or 5 years we strictly did BMW steering wheels.
So just so I understand this,
Yeah.
you guys literally reinvented the wheel in a way.
It's interesting, but it's the only piece in the car, like part, that you actually touch nonstop in the car.
Absolutely.
So I would say it's like the most important, in the interior of the car.
Yeah, we like to say, you put upgrades on your car that other people notice, like turbos and body kits.
Wheels.
But when you come and sit into the car, you're actually holding a steering wheel.
It's a driver's mod.
You've got,
in the language of
you get a
car
lot of
guys.
touches on it.
Yeah.
Wow. And so when you're posting these product shots, like, is it installed inside of a car? Are you holding it? Are they factory manufacturing
That's
shots?
where, very good question. You know why? Because I started noticing the difference. And it's very, very important to notice the difference.
The
what
difference of
works,
what's performing and what
what's
doesn't.
performing best. Because you can post something that got 100 likes, you can post something that got 1,000 likes and be like, just an accident. No. What about these two posts that's different? What about these two posts that actually made people notice this 10 times more? And you gotta find it, and you gotta do it
Do
again,
more of it.
again. So, and that's pretty much what, if you look at our company from like bird's eye view, that's what pretty much we're about. So
You're a marketing company.
we know a thing or two about marketing, but it's interesting. Like, I never really took classes. It was just more of like we learned as we go.
Well,
We learn as
that's
we-
how
as
it
we went.
is. Classes won't help you.
And then Reels started. That's a
Reels?
completely different animal. Yeah, that's a completely different animal where, I actually start enjoying making Reels, but like our jumping ahead probably like a year ago, we actually shifted to Reels, and we understood that, hey, posting picture of the product is not always the best. You can
It just no longer works.
So you
It used to-
discovered
stopped
Reels
working.
just 1 year ago?
I can look it up. I think more like when the Instagram introduced the Reels, when they're like, hey,
That was like 3 years ago.
yeah, probably 3 years. I'm really bad with like
Okay.
years. But about a year ago, we started understanding that it's like our social media is not about our product. It can't be 100% about our product. Like if you're posting a video, and your product is in the video for 100% of the time, you're probably not gonna get
A lot of engagement.
a lot of views, a lot of comments. So we kind of start shifting that mentality towards, hey, let's make a funny video, let's make something interesting, and have our product there so people notice it. Like, be a part of the video. So that's kind of our direction right now. Just
Give us an example. So instead of just having a static image of a steering wheel and it looking super nice and luxurious and high end, now you're trying to make reels that are very engaging, that are almost like comedic skits, or what? What exactly have you pivoted to?
there's probably not a lot of videos that are like necessarily funny. At some point, we noticed that a lot of videos get a lot of engagement because of the hate. So I caught up on that, and I was like, interesting. So that's what all these famous people are talking about. Like, hey, thank you haters. When they thank haters.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe that's why, because so many people just can't stand certain things that they see online, that they have to comment, they have to share it with their buddy, and they can laugh together. So, and that's why I touched on the topic of psychology, is because it's really interesting for me to see how the brain works of those people. Like, you got to understand that.
How they say there's no bad PR.
Yeah,
That's what you mean. Even if the product is not in the best light, but it's still exposure to the rest of the world, and eventually, like, your goal is for them to see your brand, your product, your company at least once. And it doesn't really matter because there's going to be it's going to override in the future. So in the future, if they see other reels with your product, they're going to forget, but in their subconscious, it stays. Aza, they remember Aza. They don't even know if it was good or bad.
Yeah.
So it's kind of overrides. And the point is for them in the next few times to see it in a good light. Like, oh, it's something cool. So I think that's kind of the psychology you're talking about is it works. But at the end of the day, it's all about brand building. So it's not the videos that once you come to a certain scale, again, I don't know, it could be like $1 million a year or 10 million, but you come to a certain scale, for example, with Snap right now, videos that directly sell a product, don't cut it anymore. Because you're now going for a much bigger audience, and you need to do mix in 20-30% of branding videos, and then more and more and more. Nike does 100% of branding videos. They don't sell you sneakers. They sell you lifestyle. They sell you, imagination of you running in the forest in those beautiful shiny green sneakers. It's like selling almost like not a dream but an experience. So and that's with every single stage of the company. That branding is, you have to do it more. You have to increase volume on the branding videos, and I guess that's what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
And there's so many different types of videos. Like you could do a video about a brand to make somebody feel something, like Nike does with somebody running in a forest. But then there's also a video that the intent is to drive a conversion. And one thing I learned working in advertising and marketing is that if your video, it has to have that baseline level of engagement. And if it does, it will never get the reach that it needs. I work a lot in paid social. So a lot of your stuff, it sounds like it's organic. My rule of thumb is if my videos are not good enough to outcompete organic content, it will never win. That's the only way that my CPMs are low enough for me to actually make money at scale. If I don't, it's game over. There's no point in even trying. It has to be good enough to share and better than anything you'd find on your feed just organically.
And it doesn't matter how the quality of that video.
Right.
If it's not organic viral material, it just doesn't perform. And
No matter how much money you throw at it.
And we do throw in a lot of money, and you're gonna get those mediocre results, and it's just not enough to scale a company. And that's why our meta game is always improving, but we can't rely on it. And we spent, I think right now, $500,000 on meta, and it's still not enough. Again, you joined as an investor, passive, but then you got into it. You loved the idea. You were like, hey guys, I actually want to get involved, get my hands dirty.
So I've seen COVID, a lot of places starting to shut down at that time. A lot of people were mandated to stay at home. They tried to close down churches from gathering, and other places like auto shows were not happening anymore. And at this very time, our business started to grow online presence on the social media. And we were so much ahead of the game in a sense, and many other businesses didn't catch on yet, that were relying on meeting customers face to face. We were already ahead as a company, and that gave us a very good launch to start selling online, because that's the direction the market was headed towards.
Wow.
Right. So, and the manufacturing in Ukraine versus local or in-states manufacturing really helped you, because in-states, it was shut down.
Exactly. I didn't think about that part, but you're right. In states, they did shut down a lot of factories, and people didn't want to go outside. They were driving cars wearing masks. It got ridiculous at that point. So because we had a total control in the Ukrainian factory, the mandates didn't really hit us there.
And there was no COVID in Ukraine.
There was.
Almost no.
There
COVID-
was until the war started. No, there's still some like right now, but we did have people sick. We did have people out.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there were no shutdowns, so people could still come to work. They weren't told they had to stay home.
Well, you know what? Like I think Europe was the first, like the strictest.
It was.
Yeah.
Even more than U.S. Like airports, if you remember, like they were the first ones to shut down airports, as far as I remember.
And did that carry over into Ukraine?
Not really. No, no. Ukraine is like a gray horse in this whole political thing. And we kind of
We enjoyed it.
we talked about it a couple of years ago, thinking that it's crazy. It's just we can't figure out how. Like Mike was saying, like we can't directly explain how and why it's Ukraine, like right now, and like doing business like what we do in different country would be so much difficult.
The reason why is because Andre was in Ukraine and he had the experience with manufacturing.
And he yeah, that definitely helps, and also a lot of like knowing people, because he went through a lot of things over there where he had to, you know, like it helped him a lot that he knew certain people for things, for this and that. But yeah, going back to COVID, I mean, it was we were, I think we were stressing out. I'm really bad at like going back and remembering exactly, like my memory for some reason as a human being is not really good at like remembering.
I
certain
remember
things.
you still worked for the prison during COVID because you were sending me shots. He had to go to hospital and watch a prisoner all in a suit for hours
Yeah.
on his shift. So it was during the COVID time that him and I both quit our jobs.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got sick of my job too, and eventually I quit because they were gonna fire me for not getting vaccine.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So what year was that? 21?
That was 20
2020.
End of 2020.
or 21, end of 21.
So you both quit at the same time?
I think Dan quit first, and then it took me some time to catch up.
I quit 5 months before the war started.
Wow.
I quit in like November of 21, and then the war started in February of 22.
Yeah.
So that was quite an experience, because I didn't burn the bridges. I potentially could go back if I got vaccinated.
Not anymore, right?
Not anymore. They
Yeah.
don't require it anymore. But it was definitely a time where definitely had to check what I believe in, and definitely go back to the roots of what I'm standing on as far as my faith, and just understand that things are happening for a reason. So, like, I even had my coworkers reach out to me. They knew that I quit to grow my business. And they're like, there's a war. What's going to happen now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, but we're going to find out. You know, one thought that that always might help somebody who's watching, that always been in my mind when I remember the time when I was about half a year before I quit my prison job. I was trying to decide for myself. I was like, do I want to keep this stable job with career?
With benefits.
Yeah, it's their career. Most people that do that job, it's their career. They're there for 25 years. They retire. Their family, their kids grow up. They go off to college. They have medical insurance. It was, by the way, I missed that insurance till now. It was such a good experience. Such big blessing to have that type of health insurance in that line of work. But I was looking at this. I was like, because I was working because of the COVID throughout my 6-year career. There was always overtime. It was mandated overtime. So they'd force you to stay. They'd force you to work 16 hours instead of 8. And four times out of 5, you would go in and you wouldn't know if you come back after 8 hours or 16.
Wow.
Wow.
So a lot of stress, a lot of hours, a lot of like people. There was times I didn't care about money because I was like, I don't want this money. I have business to run. Nobody cared. It's like you can't just, not, because they had to fill up a spot for next shift. So I got to the point where I was like, okay, I either need to work on moving towards quitting the job and growing my business, which is going to be scary, or especially when you have a job like that, stable job, it's probably the last job that somebody can ever lose because there's always going to be criminals and they're always going to be in prison, unfortunately. Or I take this leap of faith and start growing my business. So I had this decision in my mind for a couple months, and I was working, and also we were buying a house, our first house at that time. So it was really interesting time where I had to make a decision what I want to do, and I just in my mind I couldn't agree with the fact, and I had to decide because the business was growing so fast. I had to talk to so many customers or potential customers online. So I'd spend 60 hours a week working in the prison and at least 30, 40, 50 hours on my phone, just doing something.
Wow.
Talking to customers, doing Instagram.
Was there any overlap, right? Like if you're doing a night shift, just driving around, nothing's going on, would you be able to carve out some of that time to work on the business?
So first 3 years, no, because they wouldn't allow phones in. But then they allowed the phones, and it was game on.
That's awesome. That's cool.
It was game on. But I do remember having to take my breaks. I pretty much leave my phone because we had to leave our phones in our cars on a parking lot. So on every break, I'd come out and I'd respond to customers.
Why was that? Why couldn't you take your phone into the correctional facility?
Oh, it's still pretty much the rule. Almost every, just because if you lose it, they get a hold of it.
I see. It's more they don't want the prisoners to be able to get
same
their
with
hands
guns.
on
Same
it.
with because I didn't carry a gun.
Plus, they didn't want him to record videos,
Yeah.
or he can, potentially take a phone and say it's my phone, but then he loses it,
Yeah.
and the prisoner gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
So
things like
business.
that,
So
that's-
I was so busy. My family, my wife, I don't know how she handled this because I was pretty much at home for a couple hours a day, on top of sleeping, because I had to drop off.
It
packages.
sounds
I had
like
to
you
receive
worked
packages.
16 hours a day at least.
Pretty much, but I had a goal. I had a goal of quitting and making this company big and making it really good company. So and like, yeah, I was spending so much time, and I was like, okay, I have to make a decision now. So that's why I was like, if I don't quit my job right now, I'm gonna regret for not taking this step of faith and believing in this company and growing this company.
Do you
I can
regret
always
not
go
quitting
back.
sooner?
No, because we had to buy a house. So I had to stay there for
You needed that 2 years of this continuous income from the
pretty
same
much.
source.
So if I potentially could have, but that would have delayed our purchase of our house.
That's fine.
Which that time when you did buy a house
Maybe it was.
probably better, right?
I saw it like that, and
But you
I
got
was,
a good deal in 22, right?
yeah.
On 21, 22. That's a pretty good deal.
So the month I had the key to my house, that's the month I quit.
Well, think about like the underwriters. It's like, oh, we think this guy's good, like he's got this income.
Career guy.
Gone the
Brother
very
quit
next
same
month.
day. So I was like, I texted him, hey, I'm quitting this month. He's like, I quit same day. So you're almost like me.
Oh, so he quit not knowing that you quit?
No. He was working for the dental company, and then he started his own business. So he quit. He got the keys, and he quit that company same day.
Wow.
Because I quit my job like after 3 or 4 weeks after I got the keys to the house.
Man, that's really cool.
What about Michael, you? After COVID, you saw everything, how they neglected.
So I had a slightly different tipping point. I was able to do my job 10, 12 hours a day, and I was still able to use my phone and reply to customers. And I saw it as a good potential to make money in both places, and it was kind of a good time because you could, make money in nursing. It was good money, and then you can kind of run a business, run a customer service page. But my family life, my wife, we got our 5th kid. We got busy.
Yeah.
We got so busy that my wife would frequently text me, hey, when are you coming? ETA was the most frequent text I've ever got.
Oh, yeah?
And then I think she was struggling so much that she developed a TIA, and she had a mini stroke.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I'm like,
Oh, wow.
nobody's gonna help this woman. I gotta get back home.
Wow.
That's where I'm needed. So I'm like, I'm cutting my income in half. That's fine. I'm not gonna do nursing anymore. I can come back to it later. But my family, my kids, my wife, I gotta be here. And I also believed, man, this company is just starting to grow. We're gonna get traction. We'll be fine. And there was a lot of trust involved to God. And I'm so happy that I took that step. I don't look back. It was so liberating. Like so much stress came off my life. You wouldn't believe it. And I'm able to see my kids grow. Like man, I was missing that for like 5 years. I had kids. They're growing up. I'm doing my job, spending 12 hours in the hospital. I come back home, everybody's sleeping, and that was for years and years and years. And now I feel like I'm living again. Like thank God for this business. I see it as like a freedom came
Nice.
into my life. And I think that's the biggest, that's the dream of every entrepreneur. I think that to have the freedom of to live,
To do your favorite things.
to do your things, to grow your family, to interact with people that you love, and not to be enslaved somewhere.
Be a slave of a system.
Yeah. So that's the highlight of my life right there.
So were you cycling during those years when you were working?
So when the COVID hit and they closed down the gyms, that's the first time I went outside. I'm like, I need some kind of activity that I can keep on doing because I can't go to gym. Gyms are closed, and I'm working at the desk. I'm not gonna let my body go to waste. I picked up cycling, and somebody told me, "Hey, you have a potential. Keep going." And so I did.
So you never cycled before COVID?
Never cycled before.
So, okay, tell me this. You're working, you're nursing, you're running a business, and you're cycling. How?
Yes.
And then you have 5 kids.
Yes.
So maybe
Somebody wasn't getting enough time. We can kind of guess who it were. But I'm like, I need this for my mental sanity. I'm going insane with all this work. These customers are eating me up. I need some kind of gateway to escape,
Okay, but COVID was interesting, but it really helped your business. Is that what?
It helped the business. It helped me to understand the value of time, my years, my younger years. It opened my eyes a lot about the system that I was in, and I was able to get out of it thanks to COVID, kind of.
Wow.
Nice.
So COVID helped the business,
COVID helped the business.
but then a few years later, the war started, and that doesn't seem like it would have helped the business.
And now I can safely say that we have a battle-tested business. Our steering wheels are being made. The rockets are flying. The people are getting captured to go to war. All the working class
Wow.
sitting quietly, don't want to get outside. And we're still running a business. And I'm thinking, we're not shut down yet. Our company is going through some rough time. We're going through this. That's making our business very strong. Once everything loosens up, we should be able to flourish.
Open
That's
up
what
the
I'm
wings,
Open up the wings.
start flying.
So much is against us. We're trying to scale, fixing our bottlenecks.
So can you guys share a little bit about how when the war started, obviously you freaked out because you just wake up to the news that Russia bombed Ukraine.
Yes.
And it's not just one rocket somewhere on the east, right? It's a full.
It's an invasion.
It's an invasion. So what was going through your mind when you saw those news?
It's a very dramatic situation that Dan and I both, we looked at each other. What can we do? We just built the facility. We just invested the money into the new facility, hired more people.
You actually built your own building, right?
Right.
A new facility.
We scaled up our social media platform. We got a lot of orders to fill. Things are starting to go through the country. The rockets are flying. They're hitting some airports. Our logistics stop. The people refuse to go to work. They're like, we're scared. We don't know what to do. Our customers, knowing the situation, like, hey, can I get a refund?
we're pretty big at advertising that the product was made in Ukraine.
Yeah.
So we were pretty loud about. We're still proud of it. It's not something that we advertise at this point for obvious reasons because it takes a lot of faith for the customer to buy something from a country that's at war. It's probably a good idea for the peace of mind of our customers, not because when the war started, it almost seemed like the people divided into two groups: people that wanted to support our business because we're in Ukraine,
People who did
and
not.
then people who were on the other side of the fence. They're like, we got a couple of nasty messages actually. They're like, well, you poked the bear for long enough. That's actual words that somebody and for me it was real. I remember the day that potential customer sent it to me and sent that message.
What did he mean by you poked the bear
Like
for
Russian
long?
bear?
Oh,
like
oh,
plain-
that bear.
Ukraine antagonizing
Yeah.
Russia.
Yeah. So there was a lot of customers. So at this point, there's no advertisements as far as that. Some people know, like our old customers know where we're at.
But right now on your website, there's not a lot of information that it's produced in
So
Ukraine. There's no.
Yeah, and that's
I don't-
one of the things that if we're gonna go back to one of the probably first questions that you asked me is, so what I saw the thing that I saw in the company back in 2017 is that it pretty much needed an American twist to it. It needed an American. It needed somebody. So I saw myself as I'm like who do I need to be in this company to make this a great company. And in my mind, I drew a picture of me being a representative of the company, but here in U.S. that understands the American customer. Because if you live in a different country, you can try as much as you want to understand the consumer in a different country. You won't be able to.
Of course.
So, and that's pretty much what I brought to the table when I joined, is this American twist, understanding, like liking cars, being in the car industry and just being able to talk to cars, being at the same time, living in the same country is just, that was.
Yeah, it's the culture, understanding culture. There's no time zone difference. There's it's perfect English. Communication is better. Like it totally makes sense.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what Andre saw as
A need.
really a need in that.
Yeah, if he sells to a U.S. consumer, it's for him to really scale up the company. He needs a headquarters in here in U.S. So, question for you: so when the war started, you invested so much money in the physical location and the facility. Have you thought to actually move the production somewhere, maybe Romania, just south, maybe Poland?
Somebody suggested, why don't you take your whole plant, the crew, and just move them out to US? Not as easy, to get done. But it was a way for us, it'd probably be better for us to sort of escape that. But we were so committed to those people that worked for us, their families, that we were not, it wasn't a Christian thing to do, to just leave him behind. So our mission turned into a business/support.
Okay.
So we're
How many
now-
people work for you there?
We have about 30 people working for us.
Wow.
So it's more than just the money for you. It's
Plus,
about what it means for the
Yes,
families that you're employing.
we were supporting missionaries, supporting some pastors there. So and the company was doing altruistic things that, we liked. We want to make profit, but we also want to be good to society. We were good to those people, and they look up to us like, thank you for not throwing us
Under the bus.
under the bus.
Yeah, we actually it's been a few years since the war now, but over 3. But we just spoke to this one guy a couple months ago. He was literally almost crying and thanking us for not leaving them alone, for not dropping the business and being like, we're just investors. Let's just go to. Romania. So and when the
Well,
war started,
they could flee to Romania. Like it's not like you have to leave
They
all of
can't.
them. They can't. So most of the people that work there, are they guys? Are they men?
we're at this point we're trying to hire more girls
Okay.
for that reason.
So what percentage of women versus men?
Right now, probably 50-50.
Uh,
But
we're-
it's always been a guy team.
Predominantly men.
80-90% guys.
What does production look like? Like, do you just have raw materials coming in one side, and then the other side you have a steering wheel?
Pretty much. So it's very, and we didn't understand this up until probably a couple years ago again, that what we're doing and how we do it is very unique because what you just said doesn't usually happen.
It doesn't. There's
so-
only a few factories on Earth that actually do that.
Yeah.
Right. And most of the time,
And
it makes a
it's-
component,
and
and,
we-
then there's assembly.
Yeah. And we're like, man, we're doing a lot of work. Like this is really difficult. That's why it's really difficult because we bring in liquid and there's a product that we brought in. This is the finished product. So outsourcing, that's where kind of outsourcing comes in. And we never were a fan of outsourcing and never really outsourced anything from anybody. Like even our steering wheel covers that cover the steering wheel while it's being shipped to the customer, it's made in house. So even small details, but it does come with a price. It
So
does
hold
come
on,
with a price.
your main product that you're using is epoxy. Do you actually make things from carbon fiber, real carbon fiber?
Yeah, so epoxy goes on top of the carbon fiber. So it's a method called skinning where you take an item, you take a vase and you put carbon fiber on top.
Oh,
of it.
okay.
So that's not really a proper way of working with carbon fiber. Like if you would have said that to somebody like 10 years ago, they're like, no, carbon fiber is like it's actually made to make the product lighter. Because
Yeah.
that's where carbon fiber.
That's the
goes.
point.
That was the whole point about 10, 15
Not
years
just making
ago.
it look like it was carbon fiber, but actually being lighter.
But now our game is totally different. We're not about weight saving. We're about the fabric that people love, the fabric that looks really good, and we can apply it to anything. And it happened to be steering wheels.
Wow.
Okay.
Is there product iterations? Like, did you guys start off doing things one way and then you just learn how to work with other materials and you have material scientists working with different things?
Oh,
What
yes.
does that look like?
So we started just leather steering wheels because that's the only thing people could do.
Yeah, that's right.
But we saw a big potential in carbon fiber industry that we had a lot of requests, and we started exploring how to make carbon fiber steering wheels from the scratch, from zero. So
Wow.
we had Andre mixing, glues, epoxies, see which one is gonna work best. So he became our chemist.
Oh yeah.
He spent
He's
a lot of
crazy guy.
resource on that until we found the product that we like. It's like making a diamond. You want strength, you want clarity, and you want resistance,
protection, yeah.
UV protections. You can't have it all. So you have to find,
The right balance.
right balance. And this is the greatest thing about our company. We control our resin. We make our resin. If you buy it from somebody else, you don't really know like how the resin is made. And we found that out pretty quickly because we're outsourcing resin, and the resin would be inconsistent. Sometimes it comes in white, clear, yellow. Like we gotta make our own. So that was a kind of like a jumping step. for us.
Where's the resin sourced? Because I imagine it's probably not from Ukraine.
Well, Andre had to
Is it soy based?
soy.
Soy?
Soy.
I'm not exactly sure, but I remember Andre would buy it
Somewhere
up
in Europe.
in Europe and Poland. He would
He'd load up.
load up his car, his Audi, put couple barrels in there to go
So funny.
go through the
The
borders
the
and
borders and
answer
checkpoints
some
and all
questions. Hey, it's all safe.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wow.
Interesting. 'Cause we had a business called Madalera that was making custom tables
Okay.
with epoxy, if you remember. So they used a product that is actually organic kind of product. It's not chemicals, and it was made from soy.
Wow.
So the epoxy was soy-based epoxy, and it's very strong.
So after the war started, you had all of these challenges. Did you guys ever think that maybe this just simply isn't worth it, and you have to either move production or maybe close it down? Have those thoughts ever come to mind? Dan, I see you smiling.
Well, those thoughts, they were always in the back of my mind, and I would thinking like, okay, well, if the production stops, what do we have? We can either outsource, or we can go back to our jobs, 9 to 5, and I was not wanting to do that part. But it was a lot of trust in God involved, because you sit 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, you kind of wait. Are our packages gonna be released, or is this gonna be gone? Or it was a lot of waiting involved. So
In the beginning, they were talking about doing a truce, like a treaty, a peace treaty, and then it escalated, and then it went for a year, and then second year, and now third year. And when Trump was elected, we thought the war is gonna stop. I actually thought that it's gonna stop a year ago,
Right.
with Trump, but it didn't. So it was a lot of.
It's a tricky one. We're really blessed and lucky that we're in the western part of Ukraine. That's probably one of the things that played a huge role.
Where exactly is it?
It's pretty much next to Lviv,
Oh, okay,
between Lviv and Ivano-Frankivsk.
okay.
There's a small town there.
So it wasn't really affected because it's mostly eastern side that's been at war, and there's a lot of.
Everybody's affected over there.
Everybody's affected, but
But
I know people in
definitely-
Kiev that are living their lives as normal.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's different effects it affects everybody differently. It's definitely became much more harder to find somebody that can work. Guys especially, because they're all draftable. I don't know if that's the word. So they're if you're over 22 right now and up to 60, there's a lot of guys like that are hiding right now. They're okay sitting at home, and they've been sitting at home for years now, not even stepping their foot outside because they know that they get caught and get sent to the front lines. There's a lot of that. So there's definitely an issue of trying to find people.
What does the current economic climate in Ukraine look like? Because it's a country at war, but you still have a lot of civilians who are just trying to live life. You have people who want to work. You still have bills to pay. That doesn't necessarily stop, right? To me, it seems like there's just a lot more friction in everything. Sourcing employees is more difficult. Trying to source material is difficult.
Shipping.
Even like shipping, logistics, right? Like, do you ever have issues trying to ship product out and they're like, oh, what is this? Like, are you guys really Ukrainian? Are these
But
weapons?
they can't
What
ship.
are they?
That's the thing. You can't ship from Ukraine.
Technically, you can't.
Really? Why?
Well, there's ways, but first of all, there's no planes,
Planes are not flying.
But
What about trucks?
Like,
Aren't there
we-
trucks that like send?
I mean, we send upwards of 100 packages a month to pretty much any country out there. Or, like right now, we don't only ship to like Iraq, Iran, and Russia. I think only 3 countries that we don't ship to. But they find a way. Ukrainians.
Wow.
So what's the way? It's taking the products to Poland and
Pretty much,
shipping
yeah.
from
Poland.
Poland. How far is it to Poland from?
It's fine. It's like an hour of driving, but our packages go to Kiev and then go to Poland.
Oh, interesting.
Why is that?
That's just how
It's the Eastern European way.
that's just how things.
let's go the
work.
longer way.
Yeah.
No,
Why
that's-
would
We're
we take the
happy that
shortcut?
there's that way instead of nothing at all. So it's like
There should be a way to, because you're losing a day or two.
So
It's-
if you're an entrepreneur and you want to make a physical product, or have a physical product, and you're trying to reach the international market, is it well understood, like within the country, that there's a certain method of getting your product out? Or is it very difficult? Like, you have to have your own connections, you have to have your own relationships in order to get spots secured on these transit lines?
for sure. It's
This
all
the second?
connections.
It's all connections. Is there a lot of bribing?
I was born there. I grew up there. I lived there for 15 years. If somebody's gonna say there's no bribing or no corruption there, they probably don't know what they're talking about.
They're lying, or they're just oblivious. Yeah.
You know, I've lived here more than over there already. You know, I've lived here for 17 years, so I've seen both sides. But it's a very beautiful country. I love Ukraine. We went there when the war already was going. We went there twice or three times in 1 year to implement some changes, big changes that we had to implement due to a war. So I love the country. I love it.
Was there a feeling when you guys traveled and visited that some van was going to come and just pull you guys and throw you into the meat grinder that is the war?
So when we went last time, it wasn't a thing yet. Since about 2 years now, I can't go there because I was born there and my American passport says that I was born there. I actually reached out to the embassy, Ukrainian embassy, and they're like, "Yep, you're considered a Ukrainian citizen." So I can't really.
As far as you know, you could be on some draft list, and
I am.
wow.
I am. So that's one of the reasons why we haven't been going there, which been kind of sucks.
Difficult, right?
Well, I heard when you cross the customs, you just enter the country. They look at your passport. They see Ukraine in the passport, and they can take you with no questions, and then try to explain, try to fight in some course or go to. It's not gonna work because the country's at a war, and nobody's gonna listen to anything.
Yeah, we had
it's dangerous.
We had a lot of employees being taken from the streets on their way to work.
Wow.
And it's I tell you, it's a horrible feeling when you wake up here and you have messages in your work chats that we're missing 2 people today.
Oh my God.
They're not online right now, and they come online in 24 to 48 hours, and they're like, "Oh, I'm in a different city. They just gave me my phone back."
Wow.
So I definitely had to get used to the fact that this long distance business a lot of times felt that I was living in 2 countries at the same time. It's a crazy feeling. It's a crazy idea. But right now we have a really good team over there that is doing an awesome job. They're amazing. We have one pretty much general manager over there that's in charge of pretty much a lot of things, and I took crazy load off of our shoulders with Mike.
Wow.
So that's probably the only reason why we're not kind of crazy with him yet, with all this war. And
who's the general manager? Not Andre?
No. He kind of stepped down. He's kind of doing something else right now as far as he's not at the factory every day. But it's a woman. It's a woman, and she's just fabulous. She's like she's treating the business like it's her own business.
That's awesome.
And we make sure that we pay her right. She's happy. She's a refugee herself from Kiev. She moved to that city because further away. Yeah. So we definitely try to make every possible move to make sure that we appreciate her, what she's doing right now, because it's been a lot of roller coaster for us here, hearing the news and then being like, okay, what's next? What do we do next? So.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I have a team of people that I basically am in charge of, and I physically work in the same office with them every day. And I feel like it's hard for me to have a handle on it. I can't imagine having your entire operation in another country. And for legal and practical reasons, it doesn't even make sense to go there. That sounds really, really challenging.
Yeah.
It was really tricky. We were always, me and Mike were always we were always wanted to build a really strong team over there. People, it's a factory. If anybody worked ever at the factory, they know how it is. Every day is the same. You just kind of come to work, and so we've been trying to since the beginning, pretty much. Make this more than just coming to a factory and just making a product. Every time we go there, I always was so thankful to them, and I was showing them reviews of the people that leave reviews. I even asked, like we used to work or still working with a lot of like YouTubers and influencers, social media influencers. I asked them to record a video, especially when the war started. I asked them to record a video of like just saying a couple of words to our team, and a lot of people did that. And we had a business meeting with like pizza and drinks and everything over there. And we had a big screen, and we pretty much showed. I tried bringing that support to those guys over there while they were like not knowing what's gonna happen next because the war started. So it's been
great.
quite an experience. I honestly,
Does it feel like you guys are the main characters in the Schindler's List movie?
I never thought of that, but that's a pretty good analogy.
Well, you're essentially saving people, because not well. I wish they could. I wish you, by employing them, you would get rid of their need to go to the war. That'd be crazy. That'd be awesome. But you're supporting them financially.
Well, there's ways that we're trying financially to keep them away from battle lines, and that method is working. Not 100%, but it's working. Most of our guys are part of this volunteer program where they manufacture something for the battle lines to kind of support the cause of the war because they have to, and that kind of buys them out from being drafted.
Okay, that's
And
interesting.
that requires funds.
That's yeah.
So in a
Cost
way,
money.
we were always looking for ways. How can we protect our guys? Initially, they talked about, each person has a cost. Once they get captured, it's $3,000 per person to kind of get redeemed.
it always changes.
But it changes.
Always goes up, I should say.
It goes up.
Wow.
Who you talk to, and then there's one general, you kind of pay him off, and then it switches, and then a new guy comes in, and he doesn't know. Now he needs to get paid. So that sort of thing. It's on our mind, and we want to be proactive about it. Do what we need to do what we can to prevent people going.
When do you think the war will end? It sounds like they had a meeting with Putin in Alaska, and they made some progress.
I watched that video.
You watched that?
I liked the American planes flying by, and that was pretty impressive.
No, but Trump said we made progress. We have a plan.
He also just tweeted out like this past week that he severely misjudged Putin's desire for peace, and it's. I feel like Americans, especially right wingers in the country, made a lot of fun of Zelensky, especially when he had his first trip to the White House with Trump, and I feel like a lot of people are now in a position where they look back and like, they're thinking Zelensky was right all along, because he kept pounding his fist on the table and saying, you don't understand Putin. You think you do, but you don't understand. And I feel like a lot of people have come around now, and I feel like Trump, in a way, is also coming around. And the next step, at least what I see on X or Twitter, is just additional sanctions. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I
It's-
don't know.
it's-
It's a really difficult question.
It's a very difficult question.
I want it to be finished yesterday.
Yeah.
If you ask me what I want,
2 years ago. How about that?
I wanted it not to start.
Yeah.
At this point, there's different challenges that will present to us as a business too, because when the borders open up, there's a high chance of people fleeing the country still, like our workers. So we have
But
to
you're
think
not
about
running a 300,000 people operation. That's 30 people. Maybe you'll scale it a little bit, 40. I think it's going to be fine to find 40 people.
It's fine to find 40 people. It's really difficult to teach them because it's not something you learn to do how to do in one day.
Okay.
So we have 5, 6, 7 different processes, and people in some areas, people have been doing it for 5 years. And they're pros. So finding somebody to replace that person is not just.
Yeah, I was gonna add, the people that work for us for many years are the ones that survive the initial year, because usually if person doesn't have good hands, for stitching a wheel, it's not gonna last. So we have a very select group of people who are like artists of the trade, and that they are responsible for making high quality product. If we lose them, it's not like, oh, we need another bricklayer.
Got it. Okay, so it's very highly skilled.
High skill.
Okay. Can we talk about some numbers? So you were doubling the company every year since 2019, as I understand, till 2024. So in the first 2 years of the war, you were still able to double the company. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. We were still doubling up on our revenue. When the war started, those months, February, April, March, they were not the highest revenue months, but we had plenty of people that decided to support or stand with Ukraine and continue to buy our products. At the same time, our brand name was a lot developed as well. So it was just a natural growth. More people
organic.
see you, right? More people see you, more people recognize you, more they want to buy. So it was a nice trend that we enjoyed until the tariffs came, until the stimulus checks ran out, and I felt like the economy had switched. It started to kind of cool off in 24.
So you think right now the stagnation that you're experiencing, it's mostly economy driven?
I believe so, because initially when there was a lot of stimulus checks around, people had a lot of money to spend. They were buying high-end cars, they were modifying them. And now we don't see a lot of car guys that used to buy a lot of our product anymore. I'm like, where did they go? A lot of, many of them sold off their cars, to pay for their houses, and
So it's really economy. The economy is crumbling.
Economy has changed. People were throwing money at us in 22, 23. They were just, take my money. Like, I'm not joking. Like, we were just trying to offer them, what else can we offer you? And now it's like, I'm going to wait off till the end of the year. I'll reach out to you type of guys. So
I think what also happened is, I remember like 2022, early 2023, you go and you buy a car, and like the used car prices were increasing month over month. And so you'd go and you'd buy a car. Like I got a Tesla Model Y. I was on the wait list for a year, finally got it. And when I got it, I could have flipped it for like 10, almost 15,000 profit, like right there, just selling it used. You'd have buyers, right? Now it's not the case where like there was a severe shortage of new vehicles, and it created this weird environment where you could buy a used car and then drive it and then sell it for more than you got it for, instead of the opposite, right? And that, I feel like, changed the economics significantly for the car guys, because with cars, especially the guys who mod up the cars, like they're always like, they're putting money in, and they're like, you're putting money in one vehicle and then you're selling it, and then you're always kind of rotating inventory and money between the different cars that you own. And when the prices are dropping, it just makes it so much harder to continue to flip the cars.
I like what you said. And it almost like at that time when people bought cars, they were actually having equity in each car. Like, this is my investment. I can afford a steering wheel. And then they start experiencing losses. Like, I got to get rid of the cars.
Yeah.
I'm not buying them. I'm selling their liabilities.
Makes sense.
That makes a whole lot of sense. I didn't think of that.
The other thing is interest rates. I think, the Fed just cut it by 0.25%. Interest rates also have a really big impact, because like back in COVID times, it was so low that you could get a loan to buy a mortgage. Like you could get a mortgage, you could get like a car loan, and it almost cost nothing.
No, zero APR.
Nothing in interest. And I mean that has
2-3%.
implications on if you're buying even a used car. A lot of people would finance. You could get more money or more car for your money. And now that the interest rates are much higher, where it's like 7% for mortgage versus 2%, in 2020, 2021, like that has an impact as well. So I feel like if interest rates also dropped, that would also have a pretty big impact on the business. But
It
But
takes
yeah.
time, but it will. What about tariffs? Are you impacted by tariffs?
Well, that's kind of the last challenge that I mentioned. We experienced a war. We know what it's like. We know what's logistical challenges. Now the tariffs are coming out and they're finally hitting us, hitting
How?
Ukraine. The items that we used to ship were under a certain threshold where the tariff wouldn't apply,
Under 800.
under 800, and now they're really cracking down on everybody.
well, what's the name of the program? Or if it was in a package bundled less than $600 value, tariffs didn't apply?
Yeah,
There's a name for it. I forgot.
I
Yeah.
heard about it, but I forgot the name.
So, but you're not importing product. You're actually shipping to consumers. So the consumer has to pay the tariff. But right?
We're actually right in the middle of this question right now, like because they were doing all these decisions last month or a couple months ago, and only right now we're actually seeing the results of those. So like last week, I actually for the first time I saw that our customers had to pay tariff
Okay.
last week or a couple of days ago. So we're right in the middle of this right now. This
Yeah.
What's the tariff rate?
It's 15%.
15%
Yeah.
on top.
Do you think, like, would it make more sense for it to be shipped locally, and then you almost act as like a distribution channel, so that way they never see that? But like, I don't know.
What do you mean shipped locally?
I mean, if they place an order and it's shipped directly from Ukraine, or from Ukraine to
It is
Poland,
shipped.
Poland directly to them, right? And in that case, they would have to pay the tariff.
Yeah.
But if it shipped directly to you, like here,
But he's importing something.
stateside, right? But then he would pay the tariff, but at least the customer wouldn't be in the process of paying the
Okay.
tariff. So if you want to pass that cost on, I mean, it wouldn't be right in your
Plus,
face.
you can
paying an extra
you can act
50%.
as a wholesaler that acquires the product for very cheap, $200, and then you sell the customer, but then you have to pay taxes. So right,
Yeah.
There's-
So we're in the middle of trying to figure this out, and we're probably there's a high chance of doing that, shipping stuff bulk to us and us having to distribute the packages to individual customers.
You can tie in a lot of operational expense to minimize your tax liability, and that way you can offset the tax.
We definitely see a positive thing about having to ship our product from Washington State to U.S. customers. One of the biggest things is last week I went on eBay and I checked out a couple different European sellers that sell whatever. There's a note from eBay that says, "Hey, this product's coming from Europe. You're gonna have to pay tariffs." And for an American consumer, that's like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy
yeah.
this.
I
Let me
actually
buy
think
something
it's
that's.
the best course of action.
Let me buy something that's.
You have a
in
warehouse,
US.
3PL. And there's gonna concur some costs to add the 3PL, but you're gonna have better packaging, better experience. You can package it potentially better.
It's like a forwarding company or something, or
Pretty much.
I mean,
yeah.
it would hold the inventory, but that would depend on the
They
nature of the
receive the
product.
inventory, they hold it, and they essentially
The biggest-
forward, but it's gonna be a new packaging.
one of the reasons why we're not on Amazon is because of that. Is because we're in custom business world where
It's custom product.
custom
One-off,
product
one-off.
and it's tailored to customer spec. So we can have thousands of items at that company sitting on the shelf waiting for it to be sold, but here we have hundreds of people ordering like almost exactly same item, but with a small little difference in color of the stitching. They don't want that; they want this. So that's kind of why why it's so hard to go that route and have, because we're a smaller company. We're a family owned and operated company. We can't afford to have hundreds of thousands of dollars just laying in a warehouse.
No,
and
it's
waiting.
not laying. It's waiting to be shipped. It's all customers' products, but they were shipped directly to you versus directly to the customer.
What he's saying isn't to have a store of inventory in a warehouse somewhere where you're waiting for an order to come in and you take it off the shelf.
Right.
He's saying instead of shipping it to Washington, have a 3PL in Nebraska. Or figure out how is it getting from Poland to the US? Is it coming on a boat? Is it coming on a ship? What does that entire process look like?
No, it's they ship it air.
So if it's air, then what's the most frequent, like air channel or air transit between the two locations? Like, is it from Poland, Warsaw to, New Jersey or Atlanta? Like, what is it? And then figure out where the 3PL location would make the most sense. It houses the product from there. You just do an
Like
outbound.
Midwest, somewhere in the middle of the U.S. It'll be cheap. Missouri, very cheap.
And that 3PL, it knows, okay, we just got a shipment in. This is coming from AZA wheels. And then it knows like how to categorize it. It holds it for, a minute or a day, and then it ships it out to wherever it needs to be. It's a service that logistic companies provide. But I think what it comes down to for you guys is you're trying to make decisions on long-term operations without knowing what the conditions are going to be. You don't exactly know what's going to happen with tariffs. Like Trump could flip it like that. You know what I mean?
Or he can say, hey, no tariffs. Well, it's actually shipped from Poland. It's not shipped
So it's
from
the EU, basically,
Yeah.
European Union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been the game plan for our company. We've been going through challenges and we would adapt. We try to develop a plan, but something else comes up. Okay, how do
And
we
also
fix that?
improve and also scale.
And also
So
scale.
It's a tough one. But you're all in. That's the main thing, right?
We're all in.
There's no plan B.
No plan B. I like that.
Wow, you burned the boats. I'm curious on the marketing front, on the advertising front. Do you have like affiliate sponsorships? Do you send it to influencers and try and get them to showcase the product? What does that look like?
So our biggest impact for sales were the influencers. The better the influencer, the better the
sales and
come
conversions.
through. And luckily for us, his cousin recommended us to work with Goon Squad. And they had less than 1 million at the time of followers on YouTube. So and they're Ukrainian guys. We started to work with them, send them product. They really liked it. They liked us that were also Ukrainian business. And they grew up to over 3 mils, I believe.
Wow.
They stuck with us. So over time, they brought us a lot of clientele. We also work with many different other influencers on the gas, Freddy LSX, and those guys are in the truck community. A lot of our customers come from them. I know it because that's the
Semi truck,
the pickup trucks.
pickup trucks.
Slow riders.
So we basically struck gold before we knew it. We were trying to sell it to exotic cars, to BMWs, but the market was elsewhere. It was with the guys who like their truck, who don't work on Sunday, enjoy family life, and they also like to buy stuff for their car. And
cool.
with those influencers, we're able to scale up our domestic products. We hit it like I don't think any other company hit it, and we became pioneers for these pickup trucks, and a lot of steering wheels and interior parts are coming from us.
So when it comes to branding, what does your consumer feel owning your product?
Well, they know it's expensive. It's a flash.
So it's a flash, it's a flex, but if you think about like, I don't know, like there's a lot of folks I know that will buy a certain thing, and it's not necessarily the function of that thing, it's what that thing represents. Nike shoes, it's not because it's the best shoe, it's because it's a pair of Nikes, and there's so much meaning and symbolism behind it. And I'm wondering, is there is there something with your product that people feel? And if not, if you double down on making them try and feel something, some sort of connection, is there another opportunity there? So an example I would give is, if you know it's car people and they're trying to represent a certain subculture, right? Are there additional things you could be doing to mod it even further, like a badge or something, right? Like if somebody's driving a BMW, they'll have the BMW badge. But what if it was like you gave people like a Republican versus like Democrat type of badge, you know, like something to do with Trump or something to do with like Joe Biden, right? And if somebody's like, well, of course I'm going to buy the Trump one. And all of a sudden it's not just a flex of I spent money and I have a custom steering wheel. It's like, dude, like my steering wheel is like Trump. Like what comes to mind is I saw this picture. This was like back during the election cycle where this entire truck was fully modded with like Trump stuff. Like Trump with this guitar and these flames, like the whole thing had this decal on it. And it was insane. It was unbelievable. That somebody did this to their own vehicle and like they were proud of it. But like that guy would have a freaking Trump steering wheel. Like if he could find his hands on it, he would buy that thing. And I wonder if there, and it doesn't have to be necessarily politics, but is there some other level of customization, a badge or like a sticker, something
Maybe
where
they can put something inside of the epoxy, like a little flag or American flag or something like in a star. And that's an additional customization. It doesn't really cost you much money, but it's an additional $250 to put it in. It's like an option, basically.
like the upsell, like find something where it upsells them in some way, but it makes them express who they are even more. Because at this point, like somebody to buy a custom steering wheel, they're not doing it because it helps them drive better. They're doing it because it's an expression of something. It's a hobby. They want to show it off to their friends. They want to show it off at the car meet. And is there something else that nobody ever thought about with the steering wheel, with the custom steering wheel, that would truly make it something that nobody's ever seen before?
Well, we do have a product like that. Somebody sent us a real diamond. Like, I want this thing inside the steering wheel.
Oh my God.
It's a big diamond. I'm like, oh boy.
Huh.
And we made it for him, and his whole interior package kind of reflects the sparkle of a diamond.
Wow.
But that was kind of one-off. I'm not sure if you can.
You can't scale that. You can't systemize that.
Yeah. So for the most part, like answering your question, what do people
Feel.
get or feel is top-notch quality. Our brand since day one was always about the best materials, the best quality. Our QC, we had to tone down our QC because it was insane. The guys would, every little detail, everything had to be perfect. It's like piece of art for them. So we were careful about it. We don't want them to, just not care about quality at all. And we don't want to set the tone to the guys that make the product over there that, hey, we don't care about the quality. But we had to carefully be like, hey, listen, this is handcrafted piece. There is room certain to not for an error, but there is standards, and this is totally fine. Like we had to like tell them that, because little detail or little something there, and they're like, oh, let's redo it. So with that being said, our quality, we are I don't know if I should say known, but our followers do know, and they are 100% sure that if they're gonna buy our stuff, it's gonna be top quality stuff that comes with a warranty and that will last. So that's pretty much it, because we, being in this business for almost 9 years, we know the ways, and a lot of times we'll get these messages, hey guys, I see the steering wheel for $250. He just got that message 2 days ago from local guy. Like, I see the steering wheel for $250 and yours is $1,250. What's up? What's going on? So we know how to cut the cost of production more than anybody else.
You just send him a picture of the newest iPhone and some kind of like crap Chinese Android phone for $60.
Yeah.
And
so
that's it. That's going to be
we choose not to cut the production, or we choose not to cut the quality, which at the end of the day brings the best quality product to the customer,
Yeah.
which they love.
And you're the apple of the steering wheel.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
We could use
That's
better
cool.
marketing, but we are.
And I
Well-
suck at selling. Like I'm not good at it at all. So for a lot of years, and why another thing why we've been successful is because our product was selling itself.
Okay.
We never really tried pushing down our product people's throats. Never. That's not our approach. We're not gonna be begging. Maybe it's bad from like I
No.
one day we're gonna have a really good salesperson.
Yeah, you
That
don't
will-
need to beg, but you do need a clear understanding why
Right.
it is you
Yeah.
and your like what stands behind the name Aza. Aza Custom Wheels that's the name, right?
Yep.
So you just have to help you find somebody who's a marketer that will help you understand what is Aza, what is the brand, what does it believe in, what is it about, and why. I get it, it's a premium product, but how are you different from everybody? And it's just build like a case study that will help you understand, and it will also be helpful for you to become the better salesperson. Because right now you're saying, well, we're just better than everybody. We believe in quality. We have the highest quality, but there's more, and that person then can really help you.
Absolutely.
You know, it's gonna cost maybe
agree.
$5,000 for that, but it will really help you guys understand what is your brand and so on.
I've noticed that actually, like this week, I gave one customer my personal time, a lot of my personal time over a text message. I was communicating for like a couple hours with him. He ended up ordering almost a lot of interior parts, spent a couple thousand with us. And what I've noticed, that customer did need product, but what he also need was somebody to talk to, somebody to ask questions, and there was almost like a friendship formed with that guy, and he believed me, believed our company, and he bought a lot of product. Can I do that with 20 guys in a day? I mean, I can, but I'll be doing that all day. I have other tasks I need to do. I can see how if we had a sales guy who would be committing his time, talking to each and every one of them, a lot of them want to call us. A lot of them
They
want
want
to call
to
us.
FaceTime you. They want to show you their car.
We don't have the time right now or the manpower to sit and take in a call, and maybe he'll buy.
No, you just
Yeah.
need to build like a customer service department with one person first, and then slowly another person that will be able to handle all the text, emails, instant messaging, and so on. But you can probably improve that a lot with technology right now, with AI, and with also branding videos, explaining videos, so content that's going to be really helpful.
What was remarkable to me is when we first started talking today, you told me that so many people will mod the outside of the car and their turbos and like the exhaust, things that other people will see and experience, but the actual steering wheel, Vlad, you were telling me like that's the thing that you touch the most inside of the
Exactly.
car, and it's the thing that you almost give the least thought
Kind
to.
of look at it all the time. It's in front of your eyes.
Right. And I feel like there's such a big marketing opportunity there where there's something that when you say those words, it almost stumps you. It makes you think about that experience. And it's an experience that most Americans have. They're like, wait a second, that is true. I never thought about my steering wheel until you said that. And I'm thinking, like, is the steering wheel that comes stock from the factory really designed for me? And the answer is no, it's not. So I think doubling down on your brand, not just having a beautiful logo, but like, what do you want somebody to feel and what do you want the brand Aza to represent? That will create your company like to have like a cult-like following, right? Where for me, I don't care what Samsung comes up with. I don't care about Android. I will never, like, I'm so entrenched in that brand. I will never switch from it. It's never going to happen for me. Like, I'm probably going to have an iPhone until I die. I don't know. But for you guys to have like that type of idea that somebody will see the product and understand that to have an Oz's steering wheel means something. Not just having a premium custom product, but it means something else, something you can choose. So with Apple, Steve Jobs was in, I don't know it verbatim, but his thing was, the ethos of the company was they make computers for people who want to change the world. And that's what it meant to have a Mac versus a Windows. And it gives some sort of meaning and some sort of semblance to why you would pay a premium price for a premium product. And I mean, your product is spectacular. By the way, you have a steering wheel right behind you. I don't know, Mike, if you want to go and reach it and just show it to the camera real quick. But
yeah, but you do have to have a bigger reason why.
on the floor right there.
Because
Yep.
a lot of customers need those reasons to make that decision. And it's something beyond quality, beyond expression. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it looks really awesome, really high quality. And this is like forged carbon fiber.
Yes.
It's really cool.
Are we the only ones offering this build?
Do you
look,
have
look at all the buttons.
Yeah, the pedal shifters. Wow. Do you have like a promo video of how it's made? Like, think about the Apple product, right? Titanium, how it's like, you
We
know.
love those. We
drilled
love posting those, and people love watching
Oh,
those
man.
because most of the people don't even know what it takes to. They're like, if I order today, it's going to be ready in a couple of days. It's like, no, it takes a little bit longer in a couple
How
of days.
long does it take?
From like, let's say this wheel, from start to finish, this would probably take 7-8 weeks.
2 months.
Yeah.
Shipped already.
Uh,
Delivered.
The shipping is usually about a week right now, which is really good
Yeah, it's not bad.
given the situation. That's just one of the we're trying to make it much faster right now. We try to we have figured out our best sellers, and we have them pre-made, like 50%, or you know, halfway made. You can put it kind of on the bottom, whatever. So we do have like probably over 100 steering wheels that are just kind of on a rack. They're pre-made. They're ready to be personalized, like with colors and stuff like that.
Okay.
That helps us.
Mike, you shared a book that you guys read and really was instrumental in scaling and just reworking, optimizing a lot of processes. Can you talk about that?
So I'm not sure exactly if it was a year 2023. We had to go back to Ukraine and kind of reestablish the order because our main guy Andre, he got a little sick and he had to step away from his leadership role. And as we were getting ready to fly in Ukraine 3 days, his cousin again, offered us, hey, you should read this book about the goal, how to improve production flow in a facility plant. And we listened to the book and we're like, boy, we have a lot of problems in our factory. There was a reason why it took us 12 weeks to manufacture a steering wheel, not 6. We identified those reasons, and we were shocked. Like, we implemented a change, and as the month went on, the production speed up. There was a lot of waste work being done in our factory that really wasn't inefficient. So once we identified the bottlenecks of the company, eliminated useless work, the flow improved.
So you cut production from 12 weeks to 3 weeks.
From 12 weeks, we cut production to 4 to 6.
Oh, 4
so
to
4
6.
weeks would be enough to make a leather wheel. 6 weeks.
Still,
That's half.
yeah, that's half.
At worst, it's half. At
So
best, it's 60.
The biggest thing that the factory suffered was the workers did not care about each section of the process. They only cared about their part of the job. Like, well, I did my job. It's the next department. It's their fault if they mess it up. And the change we implemented, like, hey, unless we sell the final product, nobody wins. It's not about individual work. We have to come in together as a team and make sure the whole process from the very beginning till the very end is meticulous. We're all involved, we're all responsible. And it took some time to change the
So
mentality.
you didn't have a production manager.
We had a production manager, but a lot of things were done inefficiently. Somebody was doing things on the side. And once we implemented that we were only doing the orders that we received from the website and our eBay, we're only sticking to those, things improved. I'm not sure if like in the Slavic culture, when people go to work, they're always looking for ways they can make money on the side at the factory. So
Using the equipment from the factory for their own gain.
And once we cut those guys,
that
we
also
saw
helped.
a big improvement.
Okay.
It's so funny when you mentioned the book, The Goal. For some reason, I felt so familiar. And I used to work in a factory when I was still going to school for engineering. And it was precision cast parts. We would make casting parts for like airplane engines or like natural gas generators. And I remember I had a manager that gave me that book, and I remember I read it, and it just blew my mind on how just the way you think about manufacturing and different stages and how they all interlink can completely change the efficiency of the entire process of making something. And it's so funny because like I read that exact same book and I had the same epiphany.
Who's the writer? Just so our viewers.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Yeah, I forgot the
Was it
writer.
Todd?
The book is called The Goal, Eliyahu M. Goldratt and Jeff Cox. If you type in The Goal manufacturing book, it will pop up.
So the funny thing is, the $15 or $20 book had massive effect on the production and the revenue of the factory.
Wow.
It's probably one of those examples where small amount of capital has such a great impact. I can't put it in percentages, but it's immense.
No, I think it's all about systems, and it's actually not your specialty to come and implement those systems in a factory that you're not running. It's the production manager. It's the, and I guess that Andre was not the production manager. He's an inventor.
It's not one of his stronger sides.
Yeah, so
He knows that too.
you have to understand, and it all comes back to the team, the right people that should be smarter than you in the section they're working, in the specific sector that they're overseeing. They have to be smarter than you. You can't be. Like, your guys in sales, at the customer service side, and you're doing the best you can on that side, but production and manufacturing, that's not your strong suit. And the fact that you found and you optimized, but think of this, if you want to scale the company, you need A players. Not C, not B. You have to have those A players, and you obviously in Ukraine right now it's really hard. There's not a big talent pool, but any company that is growing and is growing profitably, they always have the right people. So, for example, I'll give you an example with Snap. We were growing at certain pace. We found a niche. We found the product. We did great, and we got to 10 million. But now, how do we get to 100? And the answer is simple. It's the team. It's the team from the industry that are experts at their field, and they're way better than us. So that's kind of the only way to keep growing is like your marketing skill set. Okay, it's there. You've got to 5 million to 10. How do we go next? Well, you need an expert. And customer service side, you can be sitting there, like if if on the year one, 2019, you were answering customers, and it's 2025, and you're still sitting and answering DMs from customers, something is off. It's been 6 years. You don't have the proper system, in place. So systems is the only way to scale.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else to add? I think it's been.
Yeah,
few
we've been
years.
having for
That's a good
conversation.
discussion.
Wow, this
That's
is
nice.
amazing, guys. I think one thing we end almost every talk with is, what would you say to an up and coming entrepreneur? Maybe the guy who's not sure if he should quit his job or not. He's got the hot side hustle, or maybe it's not even a side hustle. He's going to quit and he's just going to jump and build a parachute on the way down. What would you say to that guy?
I like what you said. Both of you guys said it. You have a dream, you have a vision. Start working, start doing. Get your hands wet. Get into the business, feel it out. Before you make this giant plan and get investors, the key part was to start small, start somewhere.
Prove something.
Yeah,
the concept.
find value. You can sell 100 wheels and you can see the margins. If you trying to see margins on 10,000 wheels, it's hard to see. It's a lot of, but you can see right away. Okay, 10 wheels sold or product. When it's still early in the stage, you can see a trajectory. Is this gonna bring profit? If not, you have an answer. But before you become heavily invested, quit your job or do anything else, start small. That's my kind of takeaway.
Basically, to summarize, is believe in your dream, but validate first. Simple as that.
Yes.
Is don't, and plus people think business it's such a heavy load. It's so impossible to carry. I need so much money. I need this, I need that. Honestly, like with the burger idea, I came back to a conclusion that I don't need to spend $2 million. I can open a food truck and validate my idea, validate and see if there's a line forming, and if there's demand growing. And I know I can't serve, 100 burgers an hour with a food truck, but that's fine. If I can see that, okay, the quality is there, the response from customers is there, I'm creating a lot of value, people are willing to pay for that value. Okay, then we're gonna scale, then we're gonna open a restaurant with a drive-thru. But at this point, I decided to say, well, okay, let me actually work on a recipe, work on a product that people will see value, and then I'm gonna put $2 million in. So that's kind of on the latest on the burger idea.
That's great. That's good. I'm excited.
I'll do mine.
I heard this story online about this guy who had a friend who was asking him for money to start some business. He's like, okay, what's your idea? And he's like, well, my idea is I'm going to sell like woman type of makeup products online. And he's like, okay, how much do you need? He's like, oh, like I need $100,000 because I need $10,000 for a website and I need $5,000 for the ads I'm going to run, and I need $50,000 to get the products all set up and have everything lined up. He's like, okay. He's like, here's what you do. Start the website. Here's like $2,000. Just do a website for $2,000 and start taking orders. So he did it. And then he spent like another $2,000 on ads that ran to the products on the website, but there was no actual product. It was just a front. It was just a website. And so the guy did it. And what he found is no orders came through. The product didn't exist yet. You didn't even have to do the R&D.
Right.
But he was able to validate the idea that nobody wanted his makeup
Wow.
for, whatever market he was trying to market in. And he validated it for $5,000 instead of $100.
Oh.
And he's like, well, what happens if people would actually order? He's like, well, what you do is the order comes through, you send them an email an hour after, and it's an automated email, and you say, hey, I'm so sorry, due to excessive demand, we're actually out of the product, but we're going to give you an extra lipstick on top once it comes back in stock. And now once you almost have a wait list, then go and get the product and then ship
Or
it.
just refund the money.
Or refund
That's
the
something
money.
that if you have an idea,
That's a cheap experiment.
it's really cheap.
But you don't actually have to go and do the thing to test the thing.
Right.
Find the hack, find the shortcut to prove prove and validate the idea. And once it's validated, then start allocating the money, which is exactly what you're saying with the food truck, which is great.
Yeah.
I was gonna share some. Vlad was questioning Mike about it. You were a little bit. You were eager to learn about this partnership that we got going on with three people. So I was just gonna at the end mention that somebody last year asked me, somebody who's just starting a business, they're like, what can you tell me about just overall about some business partners, how what should I do, what should I not do when you have a business, when you're going into a business with somebody. And I don't know why I was like, I thought about it, I was like, man, going into a business with somebody is kind of like, I can compare it to marrying to somebody.
Yes.
It's like a team. So if you're not ready to go as a team and do things and jump over big issues that will pop up, don't even try it. Don't even, because this is going to be a bad idea.
And they will pop up.
They will pop up, and there's going to be a lot of them. Like for our company, there's been so many tests of our friendship, of our business relations. It's crazy. So that's my suggestion is make sure you can go with this person for very long and have paperwork, have signed contracts, and be sure that everything's on the paper.
Yeah, yeah. The contracts do provide some protection, but it's not gonna ultimately decide if the business is gonna be successful, because what is there to protect if the business falls apart and the money invested goes to waste? But one advice that I do have, and I agreed on, a partnership equals marriage, same thing, is you have to accept every person and not try to change them. Just like in a marriage, your wife and yourself, you're not trying to change each other. You're trying to accept and work through it. Obviously, there's things that you should improve, and you should improve every day. But people are very different, and everyone has their strong suit. And if I know that, for example, Michael likes to sleep in because he stays up late till 1 a.m. and he sleeps in till 9:30, 10. He shows up at 11 or so. I can push him, but I don't want to destroy my relationship because of that. I will try once, twice. If it doesn't work, I don't want to just ruin the relationship. So I will work around it, and I will figure out a way that, hey, okay, that's fine. If you come in at 11, can you stay up a little bit longer so all the employees see that you're actually hustling? You're just, instead of you starting at 11, leaving at 3 or 4, and people will think, oh, it's a relaxed environment. My boss is barely working. I can do the same. So what I noticed, what I've throughout all the years, and I've been in partnership with Vitaly for many years, and I have so many other partners, is everyone is different. Everyone has their weak sides, strong sides, and so on. And I've seen how Vitaly was accepting me the way I am. I'm a little bit more energetic. I'm a little bit more, I would in the beginning, I wouldn't be maybe very polite to some people or joke around too much and so on. So he was kind of really patient with me and seeing the progress, how I'm improving, but he wouldn't try to ruin the relationship over certain things or certain action or certain situation. So, and it comes with age. That wisdom comes with age and experience. But a lot of younger people, the partnerships break up, and the reason why, they're just not feisty, but like, how to say, energetic, and they're
It's almost immature in a way, that they
immature,
haven't.
spiritually,
Flammable, yeah.
Yeah.
Excitable.
No, it's not flammable in a good way, but if They go,
Short fused. They just
short fused
Oh.
is basically. And that's the younger people. The older people, they will not rush to conclusions. They will take you, they will go out for lunch, they will say, hey, this thing popped up. I've heard somebody told me that this is what's going on. And they will try to really kind of diffuse the situation by talking, a lot of communication, and so on. So going back to that, if you're a young entrepreneur, don't rush to conclusions fast about your partner or about a coworker or someone. Find an advisor just to talk. It could be your wife, and your wife will, look at the situation differently from the side, and she will give you a good advice. And that advice is usually going to be, just go talk to him. Just go be transparent. Tell him that you care about him. Sometimes like partners get in trouble, get into drugs or so on. So just an example. It didn't happen to me, but you get the idea.
I have a very good example of sometimes people ask me, how do you build a partnership? And then they give me their experience. And I've heard this a couple times. Two guys come together, they have a great idea, they put money together, and they try to make it just cash to flow in with no effort. And it seems like the other partner is relying on the other guy to do the work. And nobody wants to pick up the plug and start working. In our experience with Dan is very hardworking. And looking at him, I'm like, I gotta match that at least match that. I feel so bad if he works all day and I've been somewhere else. I'm like, boy, I need to put my contribution. Throughout all the years, I always felt like indebted to put same or a little more effort for the company.
If you guys want, I can give you advice on how your partnership can actually flourish and be better. So let's say, I don't know your equity percentages, let's say you're 33% each of you. So if there's a partner that is very involved in the day-to-day business, he should be compensated on monthly basis, just like a salary. If there's a partner that is currently non-active owner, he should be compensated from a distribution perspective. So let's say that my company makes profit, you make 10-15% net, you decide on distribution, you say, hey guys, out of the 15%, let's distribute 50% of the profits and keep the other 50% for the company's cushion, for R&D, for marketing purposes, to keep the business growing. And you take that 50% of the 15% net and you split it accordingly by percentage. Somebody has 20, somebody has 50, somebody has 30, and so on. But, and then it's going to be so fair to Dan, to you. For example, if Dan works, 12 hours a day and you work 4 hours a day, he should be compensated for that hour. So let's say, 10 grand a month. And then if you work half of that, you'd be getting 5 grand, for example. Just an idea. But then it's gonna create the equilibrium between everyone. Let's say your partner Andre is not involved in the business. He should be only participating in distributions, and so on. And it's gonna make it fair, and also gonna leave some room for hiring and so on.
You might be surprised to hear, but it's almost how we operate, and we came to that conclusion naturally. I don't know how we came to it. I can't explain it, but it was just the right thing to do.
It's just fair. It sounded fair.
I think that's what our business is built on, is being
Fair.
fair and being honest and all these things. I don't believe that we would have been here if we didn't have these things as cores for our character. Strong character. I personally, I don't believe that I'm working more than you. There's days when you're not available, days off. Everybody should. I love my company. I quit my job to do this. So you don't have to tell me twice to do something. And I fully understand that there's a lot to learn for me, that I'm not keeping up with all the things that I should be doing. There's definitely better ways to do things. We're doing a lot of things that we do, they're outdated, the ways how we do them. I totally agree. It just, all we can do is like, my perspective is, I'm being faithful to the company. I'm being, I do what I can, and that's all. Because Andre's idea was always that this is God created this company. It was his plan. I don't want to go too much into like, this company is going to stick forever because God created it. It's not. I'm not talking from that perspective. I'm talking that the money that we have, the money that goes through our company, the families that are being fed, the stability that we've been giving people in Ukraine, it's all big part of the plan. And for me to not, to not be responsible with all of this, I understand the consequences of me messing this up. So
There's a lot on your shoulders. Basically, you take the responsibility for not just yourself and your family, but the families that you employ. Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, every company owner understands it.
Yeah.
It's very rarely when people, when they have to fire a lot of people, it's very rarely when they don't care. It's painful. It's really painful. We had multiple startups that went out of business, and there was one that had about 30 people, and they had to cut almost all of them in one day. So it was tough. I didn't do it, but my partners did. I wasn't part of that startup. So, but I just remember how beat up my current partner was after that day. He was just emotionally drained, and it was painful. So you're right. And it's a family style company. It's not a corporation. It's not a Microsoft where there's multiple layers before the CEO. CEO doesn't even care. He tells this guy, this guy tells this guy, this stuff.
Funny fact, I think we fired only one person in 9 years that I can remember.
Oh wow.
Not to say that it's very good, but it just.
Wow, that's still impressive. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's impressive.
We have a lot of tolerance, I guess, but some people left because various reasons. And
Well, this was amazing, guys.
Fantastic.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
well, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
guys
told
for
you it's
coming.
gonna be fun.
Hey everybody, we just got done filming another episode with Aza Wheels. These guys make amazing products. It was great talking to Mike and Dan. Really good conversation. Guys, if you got value out of this episode, please hit the like button, subscribe, share it, leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.